We will see Kupuohi in the next season. She takes part in the planning for the last battle in the volcanic Black Desert in Episode 9, The Black Desert, when she urges Kamehameha to join forces with Kaiana and use the red-mouthed weapons to gain an advantage against Keōua's army. She is hurt by a spear during the fierce battle, but Namake, her close ally and Kaiana's brother-in-law, saves her by tending to her wounds. Her role as Kaiana's moral compass in the midst of the blood is highlighted by this survival, positioning her for possible confrontations in a later season. Kupouhi survives, but the episode concentrates on other significant fatalities, such as Keōua and Opunui. The first season of Chief of War is now over, and the finale left a lot of unanswered questions. Expectations were met by Jason Momoa's historical passion project, which included period-perfect costumes, breathtaking scenery, and all the epic combat one could want in a series called Chief of War. As the warrior Kaiana, Momoa is the main character in Chief of War. In the first 9 episodes of the show, Kaiana battled his allegiance to several rulers until returning from his absence to support King Kamehameha, Kamehameha, in his battle against Keōua, Cliff Curtis, for control of the island of Hawaii. The King Kahekili, Tamura Morrison, of the island of Maui supports Keōua's forces. A significant portion of the last episodes of Chief of War focus on a dispute between Kamehameha and Kaiana on the use of weapons in the fight against Keōua. In the penultimate episode, the volcano Kilauea on Hawaii is also seen rumbling, which causes other districts to vote with Keōua because they think the gods are on his side. The resulting conflict is brutal, bloody, and takes place under the volcano's shadow. Kamehameha's soldiers show their concealed rifles as Kaiana taunts Keōua's forces, driving them to attack with spears. Kamehameha's men start the combat with a major advantage as Keōua's men are shot down. When Kaiana finally confronts Keōua, he is murdered by nature, which defies his earlier assumption that the eruption validated his authority to rule. Kamehameha was able to start his conquest of the other Hawaiian islands after Keōua's death solidified his control over Hawaii. As previously said, Keōua lost his life in the battle. In the fight, Kaiana pursued Keōua in an attempt to exact revenge on his brother Nahi, who had been slain in the previous episode. The death of Keōua, the primary adversary of Season 1, is not particularly startling. After Nahi's death, Opunui, the Maui representative sent to command Kahekili's army in the conflict with Kamehameha, showed himself to be a violent and fearsome individual. He pursues Heke in the last battle, almost killing her before Kamehameha shoots him. Then, in order to exact revenge on her lover, Heke kills him. Kahekili has been the main enemy of Chief of War since the start, and it was because of him that Kaiana was so adamant about going back to the Hawaiian Islands. The Maui monarch had deceived Kaiana into committing war crimes under the pretext of a self-proclaimed prophetic fulfillment, and Kaiana believed that he had unresolved business with him. Although some of his men were dispatched in his place, Kahekili's absence from the season's last fight is all the more shocking in light of this. However, following Keōua's loss, we witness Kahekili receiving the word of the battle's outcome in the show's stunning, filthy last scene, where he swears to bring his great navy to conquer Hawaii himself. Although the second season of Chief of War has not yet been renewed, the show's finale implies that there will likely be more bloodshed in the future. Keōua's threat was the basis for Kaiana and Kamehameha's tentative partnership, but Kahekili's presence or the British sailors' return may confuse matters further. Reflecting on the conflict, Kaiana locates one of Keōua's priests and uses a spear to skewer him. This relates to a recurring subject in Chief of War, when Kaiana sought counsel from the gods regarding whom to follow and felt that fighting against Keōua would be against the gods' intent. The gods are enraged, but not by the result of Keōua and Kamehameha's war, as we have witnessed throughout the series via the anguished glimpses of the seer, Tala. The incorporation of foreign tools and the upcoming arrival of further colonists are what the gods find unsettling. Keōua has lost to Kaiana, yet he has broken with custom. It's almost like a Faustian contract when guns are used. The threat is imminent regardless of who brings the Hawaiian Islands together. Although Kamehameha and Kaiana have used these weapons to beat their adversaries, they will ultimately result in Hawaii's demise as an independent state and the ultimate agony of its long-standing civilization. Simply said, not very. Although the timeline is rearranged for narrative convenience, Chief of War mostly uses actual historical figures. The Battle of Mokuhai in 1782 was the closest known conflict to the one depicted in the conclusion. Keōua did not, however, pass away until 1791. Although it wasn't during a fight, Kilauea did in fact decimate his army in 1790. Since Kuala inherited the island following Kalaniʻipu's death and was forced to contend with Kamehameha over the war god, Keōua is actually essentially an amalgam figure in Chief of War. Although there are some places where the history is shortened and rearranged, the narrative thread is often quite constant.